go to our big questions. Here's the first one. Reigning champion Jamie Whincup is close to clinching a record-breaking 6th V8 Supercars title, which will make him the only 6-time champion in the 54-year history of the Australian Touring Car Championship and its successor, the V8 Supercars Championship. He stands among the sports elite. He's already cemented his name in the history books as one of the greatest drivers of the last decade. Our big question, is Jamie Whincup the greatest V8 driver of all time?
The way I look at this, in modern sport, it is more competitive, modern professional sport, than it's ever been. So I don't care what field you're in. I think if you're at the top, you need to be better than you've ever been before. Obviously, Mark Scape has a fantastic record. Peter Brock won 9 times at Bathurst. But Jamie is in his 11th season, Cam. He's going for a 6th title, so he's going at over 50%. The category is at its most competitive. And I know he's our next guest, so I'm definitely going to say he is the best driver of all time. But you love your V8s, Cam. You've seen all the boys.
Yeah, no, I'm right into the cars as well. And I agree with you, Howie. For a guy that's been in the sport for 11 years now and on the verge of winning 6 championships, it's fair effort. And, I guess some of the older folk that have followed motorsport for a long time, they might say Dick Johnson, they might say Peter Brock. But a guy that's won that many championships in such short a space of time, he's got to be among their names at least.
Oh, I think so. And as I said, he's our next guest, so we're definitely going to say he's the best of all time.
Yes, thank you very much. The champ is joining us now. Jamie Whincup joining us live from the Gold Coast. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, guys. Very kind words. Thank you.
Well, let's ask you. Do you think you're the best V8 driver of all time?
It's a tough debate. You can't compare the past to the present. And I'm still in the heat of the battle as well. So I'm going out there going as hard as I can. We're don't put the micro on me. We're in a good position this year, but we're not counting our chickens yet. We've still got a couple of rounds to go before the end.
Jamie, you've had a fantastic career. We said 11 seasons. You've actually had 13 seasons because a couple you only got a couple of starts. And when you first came into the category, well, a lot of people told you weren't good enough, Jamie. You're not a man to have the last laugh, but you've proven a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, tough start, which has probably helped me, believe it or not. You get a few knockbacks early in your career, and it's only done a good thing for me. So, yeah, I was on the scrap heap at the end of 2003, and then again in 2004. But yeah, fought back, got in with a good team, which is critical in motorsport, and the rest is history.
Well, Jamie, you said you're in a good position. You're actually in a fantastic position to take it out. There's a couple of events to go. You're about 400 odd points, 402 points ahead of the rest. Is it yours to lose?
Yeah, I've never been in a better position this time of year. As you say, 400 points up for grabs. 400 points lead I've got with only 600 up for grabs. So I need a handful of points in the next few rounds, but that's not our style. We'll be going hard right till the end, and I hate watching the AFL where they're kicking around the back line for the last half an hour or last 5 minutes. So I don't want to do that. We'll go hard right to the last lap.
Just as you mentioned that, Jamie, firstly, well done the Gold Coast 600 win last weekend. If I can take you back to Bathurst. Sorry about this, mate, but mate, what were you thinking in the last 5 laps there when you're running low on fuel?
Too soon, Smithy. Too soon, mate. Big day. It's obviously the biggest. Those last 6 laps, the biggest 12 minutes of your year. So everyone thought I was being just a crazy man with my head down, not worrying about the fuel. But hey, I was going pretty hard. I was pretty focused on the job, but I was still keeping track of what the fuel number was. Unfortunately, that fuel number wasn't correct. I didn't buy any insurance over the stint either, so we're running it thin, hoping that number was going to be right, but it wasn't. But mate, at the end of the day, it was one of the best Bathurst we've ever seen. 3.9 million viewers for the last hour of the race. It was a fantastic event for our sport, and we rolled the dice like many others and come home in 5th.
Jamie, I want to have a look at maybe some happier times. This is a celebration from a few weeks ago. Let's have a look at. You're obviously pretty pumped, you've had a good win, and the way that you celebrated was doughies, a classic Australian celebration. Now, I just want to ask you, and look, this might be a little bit unprofessional of me to ask you, but what is the secret to doing a good doughy? Because I've tried to do it in my mum's Chimera. It's yellow, and I really struggle. Can you help me out?
Yeah, you're gonna struggle in the Chimera to start with, but just a heap of right foot and then drop the left foot.
There you
And
go,
that's
kids.
all
You've
you
learned
can
something
do.
tonight.
Educational
a
show.
little bit of lock on and around she goes, and just hold her for as long as you can until those rear tyres pop.
I hope my mum's not watching tonight. She's going to be very worried.
Jamie,
I think it might be the front tyres in the Camaro.
Jamie, we talked about the fact you're going for a 6th championship. Do you look anywhere else? Do you look to another category? I know there was talk of NASCAR. Marcus Ambrose comes back. You'll be competing against him next year. Can you still look at your age and stage as somewhere else you'd like to compete, or do you just want to rack it up and end with 13, 14, 15 V8 supercar titles?
Oh, mate, it all lands you where the challenge is at the moment with the category being so competitive, with the new car coming in. We've got a new Name Your Right sponsor in Red Bull. Things are fresh for me at the moment, so I don't particularly want to go anywhere. But hey, if things start to normalise, then who knows what the future holds. But right at the moment, we've got an unbelievable series here in Australia, and it's keeping us on our toes. So I've never enjoyed my racing more than I have right now.
Jamie, just going back to the mountain, mate. As a this is not a bad thing. This is not a bad thing. As a driver, what do you hold higher? A win at Bathurst or a championship?
Yeah, well, it's a debate that goes on up and down pit lane, and I think you'll get a different result whichever driver you ask. For me, it's clear cut. The championship is by far the biggest reward for the year. You can't get lucky at all. It's whoever's been the most consistent, and you know what it's like. The consistency game is one of the hardest to achieve. So, for me, by far the championship, but Bathurst, in the public eye, to most of the team owners, to all their corporate owners, is probably the biggest award for the year.
Jamie, great news next year. The V8s are back at their home in motorsport on Network 10. You'll be up against Marcus Ambrose, who used to race here on Network 10. Will it be difficult for him to jump straight back into a seat, or do you think he's a natural and he'll be at the top of the field right from the start?
Yeah, exciting times. We're rapt to be back on Channel 10. Plenty of passion, serious motorsport history back at 10, so no doubt you guys will do a fantastic job. But Marcus he'll be quick. Although he's been overseas going around in circles most of the time, he's been doing plenty of laps, been doing plenty of miles. He's a class act. He's going to run at the last round this year at Homebush just to get a bit of a leg up for the 2015 championship. So no, he'll be competitive straight out the box. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
It's going to be very exciting, Jamie. We're looking forward to, obviously, Network 10's coverage, and I promise you Cameron Smith will not be part of it, so you won't have to speak about Bathurst ever again. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Good luck for the rest.
Thanks, guys. Pleasure.
What was with all the sort of hard-hitting journalist stuff?
Well, I was sitting there, I was watching Bathurst. Obviously, I'm a keen viewer, and I was just thinking, just slow down a bit. Slow down, conserve
Rodney
the
Eade is
fuel.
getting very nervous about joining next to you in a few minutes.